Dan's doing his own video, and so I'm bored, so I'm doing my own. Now, if you look over there, you'll actually notice the point. That's actually the point I took the last video at, when it was all the snow and the wind. I used that little rock. Dan, it's way over there, man. It's way out of your way. Dan's walking over there so he can get a good view of the scenery, but I don't think he realizes that it's pretty far out of his way. But like I said, those rocks over there, where we were last time, when I took the last journal entry on the last trip. This is Pikes Peak trip number 2, just so you have a reference point. Last time, it wasn't an ideal hike just because of all the snow, and I mean, you can see now it's much nicer. There's no snow. It's still really pretty, but anytime you're not slogging through snow in tennis shoes, it's nice. And you notice up there, that's the summit. We're still pretty far away from it. It's been about an hour and 50 minutes of hiking so far, so we're definitely hustling along. It's funny, we're the fastest hikers out here. It seems like we're passing everybody. Now, mind you, on some of the tougher parts, it's passing very, very slowly, like, you know, gaining, you know, 20, 30 feet every 3 or 4 minutes. But right now, at this point, closest hikers are the ones behind us. And we caught up with them about 30 minutes ago. And we've got that much distance. I mean, not a ton of distance, but if you look around, you'll see this. I believe this is what they call Devil's Playground. It's a really nice part of the hike. I mean, flat and beautiful, and I'm not gonna lie, my legs are really appreciating the break. But this is actually a very popular spot for skiers and snowboarders. You look, I mean, that hill is usually covered in snow, and then up there's a couple spots too that are covered in snow. I mean, all the way through mid-June usually, or I guess no, mid-May, early June. But this year, unbeknownst to us, it's covered through mid-June, and that's why we got stuck in snow. So we're doing good. It feels nice to be in a flat area, even though it's only gonna be temporary because it's gonna be, well, it's not completely flat, but you know, flatter until you cross over the road, then you gotta go back up the peak. But the nice thing is even though it's pretty far in that direction, it's relatively a flat route to get about halfway there. So it's not gonna be hardcore climbing. You can see it's not that much higher than we are. We've done a lot of the elevation change already, because you're doing backside Cracks Campground. You start at 10,000 feet, and Pikes Peak's only 14.1. So you're talking only 4,000 feet of ascent, and you do the first 2,000 feet in the first mile and a half, 2 miles maybe. Whereas on the front side, which is the more popular route, just because you start in Manitou Springs, so everybody goes that way because it's easier to get to. It's not the 45-minute drive we had to make to get up here, but the front side is 13 miles, and it's a 6,000 foot increase. So it's a more gradual increase, but you know, 13 miles, you gotta really want to climb it to do that. I mean, I've done that side twice, and I don't think I'd do that side again. I would just stick with the west side. Anyways, I have to say it's prettier over here because you get all the views of the nature this direction, but when you get to the top, you can see springs, so you get best of both worlds reality. You get a very remote feel when you're coming up this direction until you hit the Pikes Peak Tollway Road, and then you're like, okay, well, I'm on a road now. You can't hike on it, but you have to cross it, so it kind of ruins that illusion of serenity and nature. But keep you updated. This is running a little long. Hopefully Dan didn't get lost, and he'll catch up with me soon. By the way, incredibly hard to breathe when you get past like 12,000 feet and you're an asthmatic. Yeah, thought I'd share that. Talk to you soon.